the Bucks have been, I think, the favorites for like 2 months. I don't know why people don't really. I think people realize it. I think the Chris Middleton injury had people thinking like, oh, maybe if he comes back at the same form,
which took some time.
He's back at the same form. Yeah, then, but yeah, it's which is expected. Yeah, the Bucks. I don't really see them not going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bucks are looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NBA, where
they kind of do.
You're just like, it's kind of their race to lose at this point. And I'm not even necessarily a Bucks fan. And the reason I say this is there was a tweet last night I saw. It was a picture of Curry, Durant, Embiid, and Giannis, and it says, "Who's the worst player out of here?" And someone tweeted, "Is like, if for all the people saying Embiid's the worst, it was like, you're so wrong. It's Giannis." I was like, I'm not even a Giannis fan, but Giannis is if he had a 40% 3-point shot, Giannis would be arguably the most complete NBA player in NBA history. There would be, if Giannis Antetokounmpo had Giannis Antetokounmpo in an interview, Giannis, his older brother, in an interview with Mark Stein, said this to Mark Stein: Giannis Antetokounmpo's current goal of his career is not to win, obviously besides winning championships, is not to win another MVP, not to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he wants to win Most Improved Player of the Year at his current play. He wants to get so much better than he already is, that he wins. That somehow voters vote him Most Improved Player because he got so much better than he already is. That's his current goal in the NBA, is to be the only player to win Most Improved Player of the Year after winning MVP.
I think if we did a 2K franchise for next year and they made the NBA season 21 games, I don't think it's far-fetched to think Giannis would go for 40.
Giannis would go for 50.
That Most Improved award.
Giannis would go for 60. Giannis would be Wilt. There would be Wilt. Giannis would have Wilt stats if there was 20 games a year. If Giannis had a playoff series length of an NBA regular season, Giannis would just be averaging 50 a game.
The Milwaukee Bucks are so freaking good. You have the perfect point guard. You have the perfect superstar. You have the perfect closer in Chris Middleton. You have the perfect big men. You have the perfect role players in Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles. This team just, like, they're so good. I would be baffled if they don't make it to the NBA Finals. And that's what's so crazy is I love watching the series last year against the Boston Celtics. Like, the Bucks, I think it was a coin flip. I think if they redid Game 6, I don't know. And that they know without Chris Middleton, man, they're too good.
I think the Kansas City Chief argument that I said a few seconds ago is so valid, because this is it's kind of how everyone goes. It's like every season since Patrick Mahomes has been God. Okay, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, people want a comparison, and I use football all the time, but that's the best way to compare stuff, because people. I had a teacher once compare it. He's like, baseball is who we are, football is who we want to be. And it's because, like, he's like, football players are like gladiators from ancient Rome. Everyone wants to be a football player, but not everyone can be a football player. While baseball is who we are, it's perfect. There's 4 bases, there's 3 outs. And the thing with basketball is, you look at this, and since Giannis has been this guy, and since when they won the championship, it's literally last year, the reason they didn't win was because they didn't have Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez was still recovering from this. But this year, I mean, they have 3 guys who are going to make all defensive NBA teams: and Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
You got an MVP candidate, you got a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, you got a guy who should be in the Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Drew Holiday, who's arguably the best perimeter defender in the entire NBA, without a doubt. Like, I'd fight someone over that. There's only like Jaden McDaniels might be in there. I don't know what I don't know what Draymond Green does that Dylan Brooks doesn't.
Vetoed.
I like start choking off of that. They're like, but no, I think if you look right here, the Bucks, especially with Chris Middleton, and the reason we didn't say this earlier was because Chris Middleton wasn't looking like his full self. But over the last month, the Bucks had an 18-game win streak, man. I don't think a team besides the Bucks had more than a 10-game win streak. I think the only other team was the Brooklyn Nets with KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.